Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and for the last 7 days, I've been driving the 2024 Lexus NX350h. Up front is a 2.5 liter inline-4, as well as a hybrid system, and down below is a CVT. Now, I am super excited to be making this video because I have spent the last week driving the NX, and I have really come to love this vehicle, and I'm excited to share with you all the reasons why I feel that way. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form, takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And I would also like to give a special shout out to Cars of Glasgow. He has awesome Lexus content from across the pond. So if you are a big Lexus fan and you want a slightly different perspective that's non-American, please go check out Cars of Glasgow. He's an awesome guy. We've chatted about a couple of the Lexus products that I've had, and I highly recommend his channel. But let's get back to that hybrid drivetrain. So this gets the 2.5 liter inline-4 paired with the hybrid system from Toyota. We saw this in the Toyota RAV4 hybrid that I had in December of last year. And so I'm actually very used to this system, and I think it works really, really well. I've been averaging 34 miles to the gallon in this vehicle, which is quite wonderful for an SUV in the modern era, at least out of the vehicles that I've used and driven. Now, like I said, paired to it is a CVT, which is fine. I don't mind these transmissions in this application because there's already so much going on. The engine is turning on and off and battery power and whatnot. The CVTs actually feel natural, which usually they don't. Paired to a normal gasoline engine, they don't, but when the hybrid system is factored in, I think they feel fine. Last but not least, the NX is all-wheel drive. However, you can find front-wheel drive NXs if you buy more towards the base model or if you select that. So how does it feel to actually drive a Lexus NX350h? Well, the driving experience is really, really nice. All the touch points in here are wonderful. Acceleration is good enough, especially in sports mode. You're going to be fine. It's not going to blow the doors off the competition. You're not going to be bringing it to drag week, but on ramps, off ramps, whatever the case, the acceleration and handling is fine. Visibility is good as well. And the car isn't too big, which is going to be one of my favorite parts of the car, is that it's not overly huge. And we'll talk about that later on. However, I do have two gripes with the driving experience. First of which is the switch between the gas and electric motors. It's not very seamless, and so sometimes you'll just be sitting in traffic and it'll just randomly start up. And it's a little bit jarring, especially for someone that doesn't drive a lot of hybrids. I have to keep explaining to the people in my car, oh, hey, it's just turning on. That's normal. And they get used to it. It's not overbearing, but it's something to note. The other thing, which I have never commented on in a video, I don't think ever before, is the brake pedal. The brake pedal is not very linear. It's braking, 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 braking! It seems to be rather linear up at the top, but then it just hits a point and just locks the wheels up. So it's very hard to brake really smoothly when you first start driving the NX. You get used to it. I've gotten used to it over the last 7 days, but just something to note that was kind of weird, and that was all because of the brake pedal. But with that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a nearly completely digital gauge cluster. Now, I do have physical gauges on the left and right for the coolant temperature and fuel, but the center gauge is digital, and this matches every other Lexus product that I've reviewed in the last year. I like it. It's simple. It's easy to read. I know how to navigate it at this point, and I don't have any qualms about it. Up above, I do have a head-up display displaying my speed, adaptive cruise, compass, things like that. And on the steering wheel on the left, we have our customizable selector, volume buttons, pages, and off to the right, we have more customizable selectors, adaptive cruise, and more pages. Here's the thing. I've ranted about these buttons in the past before. Lexus is starting to implement them in all of their new SUVs, and I don't like it. The reason for it is that you have to hover your finger over the button before you can select it. If you want to just skip the track, if you hit it too quick, it will not register. And I learned something else. If the head-up display is displaying something else, like the cross-traffic alert, you cannot change your song on the steering wheel until that alert goes away. So if you're sitting at a busy intersection, I hope you like the song that you chose. Kind of annoying and something that didn't need to be an issue that Lexus for some reason made one. The overall steering wheel feels very nice. I love how it's leather wrapped. I do have paddle shifters around the back to shift the CVT if you want to. And off to the left, we do have a climate control vent, odometer and trip, as well as gauge dimmer switches. And down below, we have the gas cap release and tailgate button. Moving on to the door, we do have our Mark Levinson sound system, along with a nice little wood accent, 3 levels of memory seats, and down below we have the power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, we do have our giant infotainment system. This does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And I really like the screen. I think it has very good responsiveness. I think the camera system is very, very nice. I've been using that a lot in this car, and it is wonderful. However, I don't like the fact that all of my climate controls are ran through the screen. I would have liked to have had physical climate controls. However, I think they look very nice and presentable. It's just if you have gloves on, like I did this time of year, you have to take your gloves off to actually hit any of the buttons. So kind of annoying there. Through this menu, you can also access the illumination, so you can change the interior lighting. There's tons of great options. You can pick your own color, as well as they do have some preset colors. And I love that Lexus is doing this in a lot of their vehicles. Adds a really nice ambiance while driving at night. Down below, we do have physical buttons for the front defrost, volume, and rear defrost, as well as mirror heaters, but that's it. 2 climate control vents that surround the hazard switch. And off to the left, we have our parking assist and view button, so you can access that 360 camera when you are slowly driving or parked. I do have a knob for the different drive modes, so you get 3 drive modes here in the NX350h for normal, eco, and sport. And then we have a USB-C charger, a USB-A input, a wireless charger, which actually does a pretty good job. My phone went up 8% in 28 minutes. Not wonderfully quick, but definitely something to at least sustain your phone over a longer drive. You can also push this wireless charger back and access a 12-volt outlet and a little cubby. Then we move on to the center stack. Off to the left, we have our shifter. This is a more traditional Lexus shifter that they've been using as of recent. Left and back is drive, left and forward is reverse, things like that. And we have several buttons down below for traction control, our off-road mode, auto holding brake, power parking brake, and EV mode, which can be toggled at slow speeds to just remain using electricity and not even touching the gasoline engine. But off to the right, we do have cup holders. We'll do a big freaking bottle test here in the 2024 Lexus NX350h, and like its siblings, it too fails. Then we do have a center console with absolutely nothing in it. Lexus does not put usually anything inside the center consoles. Interesting to see that. The seats are very comfortable. They are heated, power, memory, and ventilated. And I just love this tan interior with the red exterior. To pull back the curtain just a little bit, Lexus gave me this car the week before Christmas of 2023. And so it was nice to be driving this around doing my Christmas shopping in sort of Lexus's version of Santa's sleigh. And that's really reinforced by the seat color and, of course, the exterior color, which we'll touch on in a second. However, before we get to the back seats, I do want to talk about the rear view mirror. This does have a camera rear view mirror, so it will just show a video feed from the rear of the car, which I think is really nice. However, eagle-eyed viewers might recognize this rear view camera system from another vehicle, which is from Subaru. So the Subaru Toyota agreement, fellowship, brotherhood, whatever you call it, spans way further than just the GR86 and BRZ. This is a Subaru rear view mirror. Kind of interesting and very helpful. However, with that stuff covered, let's talk about the back seats. All right, so we're in the back of the Lexus NX350h from 2024, and a couple of things to note. First of all, I do have heated seats back here, which I just turned on, and they're starting to heat up. It's a very cold day. I hope they heat up quick. But I do also have 2 USB-C chargers and a 12-volt outlet down below. And up at the top, we do have climate vents. I do have another Mark Levinson speaker on either door back here. I have my own power windows and power locks, so I can lock this door. And something that's really nice that I forgot to mention is that the outside doors, if you have the key in your pocket, you can unlock the car with any of the 4 doors. If you grab it with the key in your pocket, it'll unlock. That is very hard to find in cars. My Mazda, I don't think any Mazda has keyless entry for the rear doors, which is very nice to see, especially if you give like a kid your key. Go get the jacket out of the car, you know, whatever, he forgot it for a soccer game. He runs up to the car. He's not going to open up the front door, hit the unlock, and then come to the back. So he's just going to grab the little back door, and that's perfect. So there are many times that I had to get something out of the back seat when the car was locked, had the key in my pocket, and just grabbed this door, and it unlocked. Love that. It's a small thing, but it's a very nice feature. We do have a little center console back here, fold out 2 cup holders there, little light up here, which still has the factory plastic on it. How has this plastic gone? This car has, what, like 4,000 or 5,000 miles on it? We're gonna do it, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready? Yeah. Wow. Let's hop out. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, so we're on the back of the NX350h, and we do have a press and hold here on the key fob, and it will power tailgate the rear. Tailgate open, that's not a verb. But anyway, so once we are back here, we do have a 12-volt outlet off to the left. Love to see that. We do have power folding second row seats. Love to see that as well, just at a push of a button. So very, very nice to see that, especially people with back problems. That is lovely. Down here, we do have the Lexus NX rear carpet, and we can pull this up. We do get some storage, but no spare tire here on board. A lot of modern cars are doing away with spare tires for fix-a-flat cans. I don't think that that's right, but that's what Lexus is doing. Now we got to talk about the looks, and this is finished in red line red, which was interesting. I didn't like it at first. Having a red Lexus, that just seems counterintuitive. I'm normally used to like a darker blue or black or white or something like that. But the red actually started to grow on me. It just seems like a different version of Grecian blue, which I really, really love. It has that sort of same, I guess, tint to it, if you will. But overall, I'm a big fan of the exterior. I think it's styled really well, especially at night. Take a look at the rear light bar at night. I think it looks wonderful, and I think Lexus is really performing towards the top of its game in terms of exterior looks, minus the big front grills. I think everything else works really, really well. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think, having driven the NX350h for the last 7 days? Well, my experience has been very, very good, especially coming from the Lexus RZ that I had right before this. I don't have to charge this car. I didn't even have to fill it up with gas. In almost 200 miles of driving, I've used less than half a tank of gas, which is just stupendous, and I love that. The brake pedal was a little weird to get used to. The hybrid's a little bit odd, but that's to be expected of all other hybrid vehicles. The RAV4 hybrid was the exact same. So why did I title this video my new favorite Lexus SUV? Well, to be fair, I am counting out A, the vehicles that I haven't driven from Lexus, and B, the bigger stuff. I'm not comparing this to an LX or a GX or the TX, but compared to the UX, RX, and RZ, this is my favorite of that bunch. The reason for it is because all the touch points in here are wonderful. The hybrid is really efficient, and this is about 7 to 8 grand cheaper than the RX that I had. I believe that was around $64,000. This is about $57,000. Now, to be fair, there is a hybrid RX, and I did not have the hybrid RX, so it's not a direct comparison to its older sibling. But of the Lexus vehicles that I've had, this is my favorite SUV that they've given me. I think it just does everything really, really well. It's spacious enough, which I wasn't sure it was going to be, but it is. It's easy to drive, it's efficient, and overall, I can't really nitpick anything wrong with it. There's no overbearing issue that I could find. I've had a very pleasant week of Christmas shopping and visiting friends, and that was all thank you to the Lexus NX. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Lexus for sending me this vehicle for the last 7 days. What a wonderful experience it has been. Huge thank you to Drive Shop for facilitating the cleaning and delivery of this vehicle, as well as the Midwest Automotive Media Association for connecting all of the dots. But I hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.